It's not about being born in Detroit. It's about Detroit being born in you. And they're always like, "Oh man, that's a pretty cool line." I go, "Yeah, I just made that up," but but it works, right? Yeah. Because it's just the mentality. You don't have to literally be born. I literally was born in Detroit, but it's not about that, right? It's about just that hard work, that ethic that you're going to bring to the table, and nothing here is given to us. All these guys are just pouring money into the city to make it better. Yeah, they're making money, sure, and they should. Yeah. I think it's a beautiful thing. But that's part of entrepreneurship. Like, you're going to revive this city. Yeah, they're billionaires. Congratulations. That's amazing that they're billionaires because they took that chance. No one else was taking that chance. I applaud all those people that led the way, and I'm just following the footsteps and trying to make it happen.
Welcome to The Roll Call, the podcast where we dive into the roles that define us. I'm your host, John Glahn. On each episode, we explore the journeys of people discovering their true roles in life, business, and beyond. Get ready for inspiring conversations about finding purpose and authenticity. Let's roll the roll call. Welcome everyone to the roll call. My name is John Glahn. I have the local legend, Anthony Tomey, for here in Metro Detroit, and that's not even an understatement of what you've built for us here in Michigan. I'm not from Michigan, but I live here and I'm forever will be from here. Yeah. My wife's from here and they always win. So here we are.
They do.
So what I mean by all of that is Anthony has almost 50 Jimmy John's locations, franchise locations. He started born in Detroit, has 8 Mile Vodka and many, many other things that come along with that. Yep. So we're all here and accounted for. Let's start the roll call. So
Thanks for having me on, John. This is a great opportunity and pumped to be part of this whole thing.
Yeah, it's kind of, we probably already had a podcast before we started here, right? Because we were already jamming on who we know, how we know, and all those good things. And, you were one of the local folks that I definitely had my sights on simply because of the fact the connections that I have through you to you, which you didn't even know, right?
Yeah, we just figured it out 5 minutes ago. Right?
Yeah. So without... again, mostly here locally, right, through the local high school, Detroit Catholic High School, which my son is now part of. I didn't know about that Kool-Aid until I moved here. It is the coolest damn thing I've ever seen in my life from a high school. Yeah. And then on into, again, the impact that you're making locally here. I'm close to, if not one of the your biggest customers from sandwiches through my business, through my kid, my daughter, right before I pick her up for gymnastics at 9 o'clock, I pick up a sandwich for her. Like, it's just, Jimmy John's in my life. So anyway, you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. My family thanks you.
So what I'd love to let's get into it, man. One, you've got a really cool story of,
thank you.
Again, from all the above. Let's start with how in the hell did you get, this is about entrepreneurialism. How the hell did you get into it?
Out of nowhere. It makes no sense. At no point in my life was like, man, I really want to make sandwiches. This is a good deal for me, right? My whole entire life, like, I was a huge kid. I was just a big dude my whole entire life. And I was good athlete and great at baseball. Yeah. So baseball was always my thing. And obviously when you're growing up, you're like, okay, I'm going to go pro. I'm going to be professional. I'll be there for 15 years, make billions of dollars and call it a day, right?
Yeah.
So, when you're working that way, and I was good. I was drafted out of high school by Cleveland Indians. I had to make a decision: am I going pro or am I going to college? I had a full ride to Eastern Michigan, which, in college baseball, there's only 11 scholarships for the whole team, right? Yeah. So for me to get one of those full is a pretty big deal. My parents are not athletic, put it that way. My dad's about 5'6", 150 pounds. My mom is 5 foot tall, both from Lebanon. They have no idea what sports are, nonetheless, baseball. They figured it out. My dad literally did everything with me, for me. Like, my whole life, his only vacations our whole entire life were my baseball tournaments, right?
Wow, yeah,
we never went on vacation as a family. We didn't go up north. We didn't go to Florida, Disney World, any of that stuff.
Right.
I played baseball every weekend out of state, and we were gone, right? Yeah. So that was the whole deal. So I was grooming towards that, right? And then my whole thing was, I'm going to go pro. And I did well in college, and played there, drafted by the Tigers, awesome. Which is a hometown team, which is pretty cool. Signed, and at that point, my dad's like, "All right, well, we're gonna do something." I'm like, "What are we gonna do?" He's like, typical Lebanese, like, oh, let's go get a gas station. I'm like, we're not going to go do that. We're not doing 24-hour stuff. We're not doing it like, He's like, how about Subway? I said, Subway sucks. I ate this stuff at school, and Jimmy John's was only at Michigan and Michigan State at that point.
Yeah, it was at campus.
Only on campus stores, right?
At Purdue, right?
Yeah, I mean, only campus stores. So we were the first ones really to bring it to the suburbs. Yeah. And we opened up Novi, and I'm still playing, and then I was, playing ball, moving up every level, and just doing stuff on the computer and just talking to everybody. And when I come home for the off season, I'd be working in the stores, giving samples away. The biggest example was this: we started off that first year, we were doing $6,000 or $7,000 a week for the first couple. We opened in August, right? So I came home and we're like, how are we gonna make this better? No one heard of delivering sandwiches at this point.
Yeah.
It was only pizza, right?
Yeah.
Domino's and whatever, maybe Hungry Howie's,
Well, and college campuses, right? Because it was always freaky fast because they deliver on bikes.
That's
how
it.
it was at campus, right?
So you bring it to the we bring it to here, and people are like, "What are you talking about? Like, I can order one sandwich." I'm like, yeah, you can, and we'll bring it to you. So I started sampling. I started giving out food to all these different businesses. There's tons of businesses around Granville and Haggerty, right? So we went from 7,000 a week to 15,000 a week to before I left 6 months, we were up 20,000 a week. We kind of figured this out, right? So we started building a few more, and then 2008, my dad's like, "All right, hey, we're good. We got 5 stores coming. We're good." I'm like, "What do you mean we're good?" He's like, "Well, if you're not going to retire, then we're going to stay at 5 stores. We're successful. Call it a day." And I said, "Well, okay, I guess I'll retire." So I retired 2008, retired. Tiger's like, "Hey, man, we're good, dude." I'm like, "Okay, cool. I'll go make some sandwiches." And we just blew up from there. We went from 5 stores to the next 10 years, we ended up at 24 stores.
Wow.
That we built. And in 2019, we bought another 27. Right. So we doubled the company overnight, literally overnight, which was a huge, huge endeavor. But our team was solid, and we have still those same guys. Like our number 1 guy, Adam's been with us for 20 years. Number 2 guy, Corey's at 18 years. Number 3's at 17 years. Wow. My top 10 are all 10 plus years with us. Wow. Which, gives in that industry, it doesn't happen, right? Like those people don't stay. And we obviously treat them well. We pay them well. We treat them like family. Give them opportunity. I think that's the biggest thing they see is that we're growing. I'm the oldest, right? I just turned 44. We're young, right? Yeah. So we have so much more to bring to the table. And I think, as much as, we have all these other businesses now, and I'm not trying to say like I'm some angel and be like, oh, I'll do it for everybody else. But, we do it for ourselves. We want to make money. We want to grow for our families. But we do take into consideration that we want our people to grow. We want to, like, this is not your ceiling right here. We still have room to grow so you guys can keep making more money and doing better things in your life. So,
no, that's great. Because the franchise business, it's for the right people, right? Because again, I think I've almost been lured in different ways in different times. Because again, there's like, oh wait, I don't have to think of the thing. The thing has already been thought of on how to go do it, right? And that's the whole model is you're buying into that process that works. And again, it can work.
Correct.
Many fail because they think it's just an automatic thing.
You can't just open the doors and make money.
Right. No, you still have to. Certainly, the whole point of bringing a new franchise to a new territory is that no one else knows about it. Correct. Generally, right? So you've got to go do that work, number one. And then that first store, many times it's like, once you get past the first one, it's like, correct me if I'm wrong, right? You're not rich on the first store, right?
You're not rich for a long time.
Or maybe ever, depends, it's the scale part of it that really starts changing the game.
It does. And you have to get your hands dirty. Like I made sandwiches for 19 years straight, every day.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to say, I do. I'm the best sandwich maker in this country. I'm not kidding. Like there is no one physically better than me at Jimmy John's. I'm good. Like I'm athletic as it is.
Is it quality? It's
everything. It's everything. Like I can run. I've done it for 20 years almost. Right. Like I can go in there and make a sandwich, and I don't care if there's 100 people in line. I'll knock it out by myself. Like that's just how it sounds. Really dumb to brag about that by any means, but it's like I take pride in what I do. Right. If I'm going to be the best, if they told me if my job is to shovel poop, I'm going to be the best poop shoveler you ever see in your life, right?
Yeah.
That's just what it is, and it's the athlete in me, it's the competitor in me,
right.
And what it is. But I love doing that. Like I have fun going to the stores. I still like to. I don't have time to as much,
right.
but I love to go in there and I shoot it with the customers and I'm talking to everybody, and I want to get these kids to not be like scared. Oh, and the owner's here, right? Yeah. Not that I'm the owner, I'm a big dude, right? And I'm very loud. And so the kids are intimidated immediately, right? And I just got to break it down like, hey man, where do you go to school? What do you do for fun? Do you do this? You play sports? Whatever the case. And just make them feel comfortable, like I'm just a cool dude with them, right? Yeah. And that's a big thing, is just gaining their trust, and they'll work harder for you in the long run with it. Yeah, for sure.
So I got to imagine, right, the frustration of in a store, right? The kids making because generally it is kids.
It's mostly
making sandwiches, right?
Yes, correct.
And you like you were talking about, hey, in this business to have someone working for you for 10, 20 years can be kind of an anomaly, because I can't imagine like that churn of managing and hiring, and because again, they're still kids. No matter how good you train them and all those things, they're still a kid. So,
and they're mostly they've been through the same type of job, for whether it's food or retail, or they bounce job to job, and it's just a matter of setting them up for success. And be like, okay, this is how we're going to do this. You can see the trajectory we're growing at. This isn't just a job. This could be a career for you. Most of our, put it this way, in our company, I think there's 6 to 7 people with a college degree, with 4 of them being my family, right? So, and not that means anything. You don't need a college degree to do anything, right? Because I don't care if you come from Harvard and want to work for me, which would be a bad deal probably. Yeah. But if you did, you'd be the worst person in the store. Probably. My 14-year-old kid that only knows how to wrap sandwiches is better than you at Jimmy John's. I can teach you. And you'll get it really quickly, I'm sure. But you walk in the door, you don't know. Just like any job, right? I don't care what you're doing in life. You are not going to walk out with that degree and become your profession immediately. It's just not what it is. So it's one of those things that these kids are just hardworking kids, right? And they grow into hardworking adults. And I think we've changed their life, right? We've been like, they come from that same system of like their parents are both working really hard to make it happen. And if we give them that opportunity, they have a chance to surpass their parents or make that 6 figures. And I'm proud to say that like all my district managers and up, everyone's got a house, everyone's got a newer car, everyone has changed their life because of what we've done. And that's a very proud thing for me to say.
Yeah, and I can imagine they're generally from within, right?
I only hire within. I don't bring anybody from outside. We've tried a few times. It never works, right? You got to take the person that is willing to start at the bottom, work their way to the top quickly, and understand A to Z. Like I take pride in knowing, not just making sandwiches, I can do everything in the store. I can run inventory, I can open, I can close. Yeah. That way I can come in and say, hey, John, you're doing this wrong. Let me show you how to do this properly. Yeah. Instead of being like, well, all I'll do is count money in the back at my office, and then I'm going to come in and tell you what to do. If your inventory is wrong, I can fix it for you in 5 minutes. I can tell you in 2 seconds what's wrong, or you're cheating, or you're stealing, or this is what's going on. Like, it's just, if you don't know your business, you cannot be successful. You're just saying you can't open the doors and expect to make money. It's just not going to be possible. Right.
So what role do you have today?
I'm the CEO.
Okay, so what does that mean? What's that mean?
I just make a lot. So we have like our family dynamic is great. So my brother and my sister and my uncle are involved in our business, and my dad. Well, my dad's kind of out, but he's there every day. Comes to the office, does his thing. Right? He doesn't. He just wants to hang out every day. Right? Yeah. He's 80 years old, so he just he's kind of out of the loop a little bit on what we're doing day to day, but. Still comes in and tells me how dumb I am every day. You're an idiot. Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? Right? Like, and you need that. You need someone to just stay on top of you to be able to do that. And so it's a huge advantage to have him in there. He's a human calculator, and he will just run numbers and he'll come on my desk like, "You are an idiot. Look at this. Look at this." I'm like, "Dad, it's okay. This is why." But it's a great thing, right? And so and you hear family disaster stories often, right? Yeah. And we've been very blessed that we are just all know our roles, right? My sister takes care of insurance and HR and payroll, and my brother takes care of the financial stuff, and Tony takes care of all the construction and management stuff like that, and I take care of employees, and I take care of all the landlords and leases, and I'm the people guy. I go out there and make it happen. And so we each have our role, and we're each very good at our role, and we check up on each other, make sure we're doing the job. As long as you're doing your job, like. Yeah, we don't ask questions.
Yeah, no, the family dynamic is interesting. I do find myself doing a lot of my work with family businesses, right? Because, again, a lot of it is most families very loyal, and a lot of times people would never be as nasty to someone as they would be to their own family.
Oh yeah,
it's just like,
if there's this, and there's been times, right? There's been times.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we just make it happen. We haven't had too many issues, and we'll just yell at each other, and we'll just say there till midnight, make it happen. I don't care what it's going to take. You just do it.
Yeah,
and we do.
And again, that's the backbone of a hardworking business, right? I mean, like you said, if you just set the culture of the people that get it are the ones that know how to. They start making a sandwich, and they're making a sandwich, making a sandwich, and do all these things.
Yeah,
that's the culture. I can feel. I can hear it. Right? Everyone's roll up the sleeves.
No one's too good to do anything in this company.
Yeah.
And if you are, then you don't belong in this company, right?
Yeah,
like
that's great.
When they still call us, say when they're getting smoked, they'll be like, Anthony, we need a body or two. And we'll go in. We don't care.
Yeah.
We can't do it every day because our other businesses are growing substantially. But and they know that. But when it's in a pinch, boom, we're there, and we make it happen. And the kids really like that. Like the managers love that there's that support system. It's not them by themselves, or we're not in Missouri and we can't do anything to help them. It's just, hey, figure it out, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's why we haven't really gone too far out of state. And plus, we've had some really great success in the metro area.
Yeah.
And we're not afraid to go out of state, but it really helps to have your hands on everything. And at the end of the day, you can't run your business as successfully if you can't show up when you need to show up, right? I feel like,
or have make sure you have the right people that can exude that same thing, right?
Correct.
It's hard to just interview for.
Yeah.
Does that person have
Bring
it,
guy off the street is not the same because they don't get it, right?
Yeah.
They don't have that feel for the business on the inside and out, right?
Yeah.
They can learn how to make sandwiches. Anyone can do that, right?
Yeah.
But it's just those people that have been shown the grind and watched the way we did things and how we operate still operate that same way today, and that's a huge advantage.
And they didn't just watch it; they were a part of it too.
They were part of it, 100%.
So when did because now you're getting to you're a corporation now, or
we're not we're still a family business, but yes, we're
there's complexities now.
Correct.
And you made an acquisition and doubled in size. When were you guys were you ever overwhelmed in any of that? Number one.
No, not really. Amazingly, we weren't. I mean, during COVID was tough, right?
Yeah.
So COVID, we had 800 employees in February of 2020, right? And we had to close for 6 weeks, all the stores, because everyone started. I was literally closing stores during the day, but okay, 3:00, we only did this much in sales. Close it. Keep this one open. And then people started getting worried, and I said, okay, we just got to do this. So we closed for 6 weeks. And we had some crazy stuff go on in that middle, right? We had not everyone was laid off, but we paid people. But we had one guy, Jeff Glover, right, from the real estate guy, and he called us one day and brought some media and said, "Hey, I want to feed the first responders. I need 50 party boxes." So my brother and I went in and made these. And we started this whole thing. We publicized it on social media.
Yeah, right.
And then all of a sudden, everyone's like, hey, if I give you 500, if I give you 1,000, if I give you $5,000, what can we do? Can we feed here? Can we feed there? Oh. And then for the next 5 weeks, we just literally made all that stuff by ourselves, us too.
Yeah. Oh,
we're just making all these orders, taking them to hospitals, taking them to, and we brought our top people with us as well and started knocking things out. We were doing huge orders, $10,000, $20,000 a week, and just in a couple hours, right? It was a great thing, kept us going. And then when we came back, we had under 500 employees. And we had all the same stores. I mean, they all had to open full hours, right?
Yeah.
So we end up working every day. We're opening, closing, delivery driving. Like, it was hilarious. We were driving. We all have Escalades. We're all literally delivery driving in Escalades. And you would see people, I come to their house and they'd be like, here's your, I think I need this tip more than you do, my man. I said, we're good. Just take your food and I got to go, But we did, again, just make it happen, right? You have to do what it takes, whatever it takes to make your business successful. Nothing too proud. If I clean the toilet, if I mop the floor, whatever it is, we just do it. And that's what our success has always been through. So,
and that's fantastic. I'm not going to push you on going elsewhere because you already brought that up. Because again, once you're at, there's the franchisees, and then there's the guys that, again, that have the scale.
Sure.
And that's, again, it can start to be a drug to just keep going and going and going. But I already got what your gist was for right now. Moving on to the next cool shit that's here in Detroit, right? go to that story, retell your story, or what is the story with Born in Detroit?
So we were actually, my brother and I were planning an event fundraiser for our church. And we went to a buddy of mine, George, who's our partner now, and he's a travel agent. I'm like, hey, listen, will you give us a grand prize, a trip to Greece or something? It's like, cool. He's from Greece. He's Greek.
Yep.
So he's got the hook up, make it, it's an easy deal for him. He's like, yeah, no problem. So we met him up, and then this other guy, a buddy of his, was bringing up a couple pictures of signed Red Wing stuff and Tigers things we can do it like a raffle with. And he goes, hey, I got this vodka. You guys want to buy this for like, how much? He's like, this much. We're like, sure. And it was garbage. It was not a good vodka at all. It was not good. But in that 3 weeks, we're like, man, we need a vodka company. And so we had a guy come to us, and it was a beautiful bottle. It tasted delicious, and it was Catholic Central colors. It was all blue, royal blue. So we're like, okay, we'll buy it. And we bought it for super cheap, super cheap, like pretty much free, because we got 10,000 bottles with it. And these guys that, had started that company, super successful, lawyer, and another great job, and they put in like a ton, like a couple $100,000 into it, and just didn't work out. And we're like, okay, well, we're very well connected throughout the city, and we'll see what we can do. Then on the bottom of the bottle, it said "Born in Detroit." We're like, how much for that? They're like, well, it's kind of worthless. It's not really a thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well, how about this? He's like, okay, that sounds good. So we got both of these companies, right? Made them as separate LLCs. Started like a clothing brand, right? We did it like online, and we did a couple different high school, CC, De La Salle, a couple different things. And it was nice. It was cute. I mean, it was cool. Like, we had fun with it. And then for the NFL draft, we're like, okay, let's just go put a pop up, see what happens. And we went, and Bedrock was, there's the tenant or the landlord. Yeah. And they're like, yeah, you can have the spot for $100,000 for the week. I go, yeah. Let me know when that's still there, and we'll figure it out. And they call me a couple weeks later, like $50,000. I go, no. So then, like a couple weeks before the draft, like about a month or 2 months before the draft, they're like, hey, $20,000. I go, I'll meet you downtown. So we go find this spot. It's on the hard corner of Woodward and Grand River. Yeah. Awesome spot. It used to be Moose Jaw, and it's a perfect spot for us. Yeah. And he's like, okay, 20 is good. I go, $12,000. They're like, all right. And we did it for 6 weeks. So we did all that, and we're like, okay, we're going to, and it turned out great. Gardner White came in, and we didn't have enough clothes to do both sides. So we did half the store, and they're like, hey, we'll make this an event space. We'll furnish it, do all this, as long as we can put Gardner White in the wall. I'm like, put it wherever you want, man. Put it anywhere. Put it all over the whole place. I don't care. Yeah. For free, we'll take it, right? Yeah. And it was a beautiful spot. And we did a really nice job with it. And we were like hoping, man, we can come in and do like, $10,000, $20,000 for the whole. We did $136,000 in 3 days. Wow. It was insanity. Like, the draft propelled us, right? And so Bedrock's like, hey, we love what you guys did this. You guys are our favorite tenant. Would you guys want to stay? And we're like, I don't know if this is a viable business. We'll stay for the rest of the summer, 2 more months, right? See what happens. Mm-hmm. We smashed. The Tigers were great. Lions were doing well. We started just kicking ass, and we're just like, this is a great deal. And now we're there long term. Stores flourishing. We're starting to do different brands. We ended up opening a restaurant in the airport in Terminal B in Delta. It's Born in Detroit restaurant. Oh, wow. Yeah. Doing very, very well. We sell our 8 Mile there. We have our clothes as well. We have the food. Yeah. We just actually started a Born in Detroit beer just because of that. And it sold like 16 kegs in that first month. Wow. And I'm like, this is crazy. So now we're canning the beer. Wow. And it's going to be available here pretty soon. And so things are starting to move along. We're getting a franchisee. We got a lot of new things coming up. And it's just been kind of crazy off of this little itty bitty investment for fun. Well,
but I want to back up because there's the rest of the story that we need to tell. But number one is me not being from here.
Yeah.
And I was reluctant to, the 313 or there's always been pride of being from the Detroit area, right? Because listen, from the outside world, it's like the Armageddon has been happening here for the past 40 years, right? It's terrible. It's a shit show. When I've met my wife in college, so I've been coming here for 25 years. And way back when I was either still in college or just out of college, I could go downtown. My father-in-law worked for Comerica at the time, and we could get the suite to watch the Lions anytime. He would always have, like, we'd come in, we live in Florida, and we'd come in town. I could bring friends, and we'd get the suite.
Sure.
And I would tell the joke, it was on a Sunday, and there'd be like tumbleweeds rolling down the street.
You're right.
On Sunday.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yep. Whenever they ask a question, I'm like, yeah, it's a shit show, right? This is pretty messy.
Yeah.
But again, all of the things that have happened, even then there was still pride. But then now with Gilbert and everything else that's happened downtown, right? Yep. There's opportunity, luck is opportunity meeting effort, right?
Sure.
So like for you, right? All the things that have been happening, the resurgence with Detroit, the city, so many, again, people from here are just so proud. Like now people go downtown, like, oh my God, you go downtown like you were in Chicago. Like people actually go do that and have dinner. Like it's beautiful. Yeah. And my base business is in the construction industry. So again, we've gotten to participate in that and see that and feel it. And just the absolute pride in Detroit. And people have printed stuff here and there. Like there's always been something, right? Whether it's the 313 or I'm trying
Detroit
to think
versus everybody.
Versus everybody, yeah, right. There's always been something.
Yeah.
Not always, but it's become more prevalent. But like the opportunity, this is entrepreneurism at its finest, is seeing an opportunity and doing something with it. Like, when you first said 100 grand for that shop and then 50 grand, I'm like, I'm choking. I'm like, based on what?
Yeah, I know.
Now, granted, the NFL draft had, what do we have, 700,000 people, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't even see the scale of Born in Detroit. Now being, again,
I didn't see it. I promise you. This was not like a vision of, man, I got this. We're going to take this all the way. Like it happened organically, right? It's just grassroots. Just started. People really like the clothing. We use nice clothes. We're not giving you Gildan, right? Like a boxy shirt, like
cotton.
We're using like nice stuff, and that's what we want. Like I'm an odd body, right? I'm a big shoulders, I'm a big dude, but I'm not like a sloppy fat mess, right? I need something that fits me well. I'm not going to let anyone wear clothes that are garbage.
Yeah.
Because I've worn those whenever you get free stuff and I'm not here to rip anybody off. That's our big thing. We want this to be affordable. And that's why we do so well. Like all of our stuff inside, we have the same hats from New Era that they do inside Comerica Park, whatever, but it's $25 cheaper. And you're like, okay, why would I go inside and buy this when I can buy it here for this much money, right? So that's our whole thing. Is we want Detroit has come so far, and we don't want to be those guys that make an extra $5 just to say, hey, we did this, right? Yeah. We want this to be a sustainable business. I think people sometimes outdo themselves and don't understand the long-term play rather than making a couple bucks up front. Yeah. And it does help that this is not our main business for any of us, right? Yeah. We have and that's why we do this, right? Like, I would never go into this and be like, man, this is going to be awesome. I'm going to quit my job and make this.
Apparel's not normally the one to do it.
You'll never make the money, but it's a fun little thing, and we've grown it to where you can make money, right? Like realistic, good money to be able to do that. And I think we're on that cusp of really blowing this thing up. Yeah,
and I started all that long-winded thing because I wanted you to come back to the story that you were telling earlier that helped. It was one, the draft, but what else was... What else happened?
Oh yeah, so a good friend of mine, Devin Gardner, right? Yeah. NFL. Played the Michigan quarterback, NFL guy, and now he's a reporter, right? I think it's FanDuel, right? Whatever it was, Fox Sports Detroit, right? Yeah. So I gave him a bunch of gear, and he wears it wherever, right? And he happened to wear it to practice, and he was talking to Dan Campbell, and the first half an hour of the first episode of Hard Knocks, which the Lions said sucked, right? Yeah. Everyone knew that they were the up and coming team, maybe, but. Yeah. And for like 15 seconds, it just focused on Born in Detroit and Devin talking to Coach Campbell. And in that 30 seconds, the next half an hour, we blew up. $7,000 in sales, and everything was, almost every order was from out of town. And we're like, what's going on? Like, why is this? And you realize everyone is born here and leaves. Mm-hmm. But they still have that pride in where they're from. And that's a national thing. It's a worldwide thing, right? Like, we're doing a line with different country flags in the O, right? Oh, yeah. You think, that's kind of cool, but people want like we did an Albanian one with the Albanian flag, 1,000 shirts. We did this. Like, people are proud of where they came from, where their family came from, their heritage, their culture. And that's what this is.
Yeah, and I'm going over, I hope I'm not overstepping, but Detroit is more of a melting pot than I ever imagined.
Oh, right? Yeah, for sure.
So you were saying you're Lebanese,
I'm
right?
Lebanese, yeah.
So were your parents born here?
No.
Right. And that's where I'm going.
This is the whole, this is Well, this was the melting pot because of the car industries, right?
Yeah.
Everyone comes here looking for that dream to get, and this was not even people our age, but like our parents, right?
Yeah.
My dad came here. My dad's story is insane. My dad came here in 1972 with $25 in his pocket, got to New York and knew Tomey, Detroit. Tomey, Detroit. My name is actually the way it's spelled. Tomey is not the way it's originally supposed to be spelled. It's Tohme. But my dad's like, I don't care. Just get me in the country. So this is America. This is how we spell your name. Got to Detroit, had some cousins here, all worked for Ford or Chrysler or GM, just to get by, right? So my dad comes here, doesn't speak English, puts himself through University of Detroit College and MBA program while being a busboy at London Chop House.
Wow.
And I don't know. I don't know if I can go to college and do it right now, nonetheless not speaking the language, right? So my dad's like this freak story, and I'll never be what he was, right? Like he busted his ass to get the American dream. And his dream, it wasn't to be rich. It was to come here, be successful, and watch all three of us just flourish. And that's all he cares about. And same with my mom. Like it's all they care about. And it's just such a different story than what it is today with parents and kids and all that. And it's sad to see like that mentality is not here anymore.
Well, I think, again, I'm a mutt, right? So I from a lot of different things, right?
Sure.
From Indiana. But it goes a long way back for me to connect to who actually got here. 1600s, 1700s, whatever it might be.
Wow, yeah.
But there are but here in Detroit, I run across, and again, I'm white. I'm a milk. I'm in the middle. I got everything. So I don't. Other than Polish, my family makes Polish sausage, right? So I'm a good chunk of that. But I don't have a lot of pride in where I came from, other than here.
Yeah, I'm from America.
And there's the community, whether it's Asian, so many Middle Eastern, different, Lebanese, Albanian, Chaldean, so many amazing cultures are here, and this is where they got started. Actually, so Tony Magny, right? The coach that's now coaching my son in cross country and track, and his story of he came across on the boat and from Italy and his family. It's just, it blows my mind. I cannot imagine, like what you just said, like not speaking English and coming here and making a living and raising children, and it just absolutely blows my mind. So when I wanted to come back to that, born in Detroit, like what is that, even though he wasn't born here, but the opportunity that he's given his children, and that, because that is so cool that you're going to be. And
that's what we tell people. People say, we want this to be like the grit city, like this is where hardworking guys, we're lunch pail dudes, like everyone has that same mentality. And people come up to me and say, well, I wasn't born in Detroit. And I said, it's okay. That's cool. It's not about being born in Detroit. It's about Detroit being born in you. And they're always like, oh man, that's a pretty cool line. I go, yeah, I just made that up. But, but it works, right? Yeah. Because it's just the mentality. You don't have to literally be born. I literally was born in Detroit. My parents lived in Redford when I was 5. I was born at Henry Ford Hospital. So was my brother, so were my 2 partners. So we can really say we were born in Detroit. Yeah. But it's not about that, right? It's about just that hard work, that ethic that you're going to bring to the table. And nothing here is given to us.
Yeah.
We've had to work for everything. Even the city itself was a piece of shit. We all talked about this already. And it's built its way up through guys like Dan Gilbert, through guys like, Matt Ishbia, all these guys that are just pouring money into the city to make it better. Yeah, are they making money? Sure. And they should. Yeah. I think it's a beautiful thing. But that's part of entrepreneurship. Like, you're going to revive this city. Yeah, they're billionaires. Congratulations. That's amazing that they're billionaires because they took that chance. No one else was taking that chance.
Absolutely.
So you don't get the reward, right? That's just how the world works, right?
Yeah. No,
unfortunately, people don't see it that way and don't think that those people should be billionaires. Not many people are. There are some, but not many people that are millionaires or billionaires are just given that money. A lot of things have to happen in order to make that happen. So I applaud all those people that led the way, and I'm just following the footsteps and trying to make it happen.
Man, that's awesome. And I love, even though I was coming in here thinking about how much the impact that you're making here for Detroit locally, but then hearing that story of when all those orders came from out of state.
Yeah.
And it also relates to, now we go to Lions games or go to away games, and now the Lions fans are taking over the stadium. Right?
Everywhere
it's just like
you go, man. I went to Kansas City game. It was that way. And to tell you the truth, the way it is, and I think it's probably this all over the place, but especially in the Midwest, right? Especially here in Detroit. You go to college and then you move to Chicago, right?
Yep.
Or whatever the case. Yep. But at the end of the day, you always come back because your family's here, your roots are here. And some people don't, but I think a majority of people do come back. And, it's just people don't understand. Like, we have our fantasy football draft every year with all my Tiger guys, right? Mm-hmm. And we go to a different place every single year. Someone hosts, right? And I hosted here. And no one had ever been to Detroit. The Tigers, those guys didn't make it to the big leagues, right? Yeah. They got to Toledo. And they could not believe. I live in West Bloomfield, right? Yeah. We stayed in Birmingham. Yep. I took them downtown to the Tigers game. I belonged to DAC. We had a party we were on the rooftop, and they're like, "Is this real?" I said, "Dude, Oakland County is a top 5 county in the whole entire country, wealthiest in the whole country. The city of Detroit is not what they all thought, what everyone thinks. Unless they come here, that this is a piece of shit place. And it's a beautiful city. Any city you go to has those pockets, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, right.
I mean, you go to everyone loves Chicago. You go across the street, you're going to get killed, right? In certain areas, right? Certain areas is amazing, and people just don't understand what this city is and the surrounding cities around it. It's just beautiful. It's a great place to raise a family, to be here, and to not be like in an LA or New York or Miami. It's just that's a different world that people. It's fake. That's not reality.
Yeah,
right?
No one's really from there.
No,
right?
No one's from there. They just go there because they have some extra money, right? Yeah. And just being here, it's just a good place to be, I feel like. And I think all the athletes that come here really enjoy being here. They love what they see. They don't want to be here until they come here.
Yeah, right.
Right? So,
and admittedly, I grew up a Packers fan.
That's okay.
So don't hate me.
I'm out.
No.
Too.
No. But for the similar reason, right? I grew up in Indiana. It was just one that's where I fell into because of my dad.
Yeah.
Because I had the Colts, I had the Bears, and I had the Lions, and it just worked out.
Yeah.
That's where I went. And then I grew to appreciate them because of what they are too, right? Because there's no owners and a similar mentality. But then being here, and I've been a season ticket holder for 10 plus years. I've always respected it, but now it's a completely different deal. Like, I wouldn't overly buy jerseys and things like that. Just I was like, I don't want to be a poser. I'm not going to wear. I used to wear Packers jerseys and shit like that, but not anymore. Now it truly is the identity. It's amazing with the team and the identity of Detroit.
For sure.
It's just so inspiring.
It's a great thing for everyone, for the city. Mm-hmm. The city thrives on the sports. Like, this is a huge sports city. Like, people don't understand that. We've had so much success throughout everything, right? The Tigers, Red Wings for 23 years in the playoffs. Pistons back in the early 90s when we were legit as could be. Yeah. And then you always have Michigan State. Like, we have success. This is a major player in everything, the state of Michigan. Yeah. People don't really recognize that. You always think California, Texas, Florida, right? New York, right? Yeah. This is a great place to be, a great market, and the people die for the teams here.
Yeah,
more than do anywhere else. I promise.
Yeah, and even through all the shit, right?
Yeah, through everything.
Right.
0-16, we're still there, man. We're selling that place out. Sadly, we really were.
It's crazy.
So
So let me transition to the other roles that we play in life. Right, you got 3 younger kids.
They're pretty young. Pretty young. Yeah. Started a couple years later than most. Right?
Yeah,
but it's okay. I made up for it.
Yeah. Well, you're not as I have a gap of 15 to 4, so you didn't.
Yeah.
Don't follow my lead.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Right.
But no, they're all wonderful. But how has that shifted the you've been growing this business as you've had the kids. So how is that?
It's different now for sure. My wife Rita and I got married both kind of late. We're both the same age, right? So we got married about 34, almost 35 years old. So we had to have kids immediately, right? Mm-hmm. Next day, boom, we're making the kids, right? And we were blessed to have 3 boys back to back to back. And they're legit insane. They have the energy like I've never seen. Yeah, it's 24-hour energy. They can go, like my oldest Anthony, we call him Tutu. He'll go play basketball. And we had a basketball game on Sunday, right? Sunday morning we have a basketball game. Then we have a flag football game he plays in. And then he comes home and he's within 7 seconds. I'm bored. Can we go outside and play catch? And we got to just do this. And it's all day. And all three of them do the same thing. It's the best thing ever, right? So I coach everything they do: football, basketball, baseball, year round. We play travel baseball, play flag football every 6 weeks. There's a flag football, and then we play basketball. I coach it, and he does this training he does on the side. Now I've got all three of them playing this year, so I coach 2 flag football teams. Yeah, but I've worked really hard to get to this spot where I'm able to not have to be in stores and not have to be at work every day, because I busted my ass to get to this spot, right? Yeah. And this is what I want. My dad did it for me. He never, like I said, my dad didn't have that ability. He didn't have that. He worked for somebody else, right? Yeah. But every vacation, every night, he's with us, with me, and taking me everywhere, doing whatever. Same with my brother and sister. And so that was the example that was set. And I thoroughly enjoy it. I mean, I want to kick his ass a lot of days because he doesn't listen, right? Like, as much as I know more than literally everyone combined in this entire group of coaches, he listens to some guy wearing jean shorts over me, right? Because I'm his dad, right?
Of course.
So we've had to learn, and we have a great group of coaching guys that all play Division I minimum sports. So, and we all coach everything together. Our kids go to school together, so it's been great. And we just kind of yell at each other's kids. Yeah. And we make it happen. And the parents, we're tough. Right? Yeah. I need these kids to understand, like, we're here to have fun. We're here to, everyone's going to get some minutes, but we're here to win. We're here to, I want to raise warriors. I want to raise winners, right? Yeah. And we're going to lose, and it's okay. And you have to learn how to lose. It's very important to lose at this age, to make that happen and make sure they understand that nothing is given. We're not here for participation trophies. We're not here to say, hey, everyone's here. Congrats. Let's have fun today. Like, yes, we want to have a great time. You know, when you have a great time, when you win. Yeah. You don't have that great a time when you lose, right? So we're trying to train these kids the right way, and I think the mentality is really getting. The parents really love what we're doing and how we operate. And if you screw up, I'm going to take you out. I'm going to tell you why, right? I'm going to put you right back in after. This is what you did. Why didn't you do it the way we talked about? They're like, okay, I got it. And they figure it out slowly. It's going to happen 5-6 times, trust me, but eventually they figure it out, and I love it.
What grade?
Anthony's in 3rd grade. Nicholas is in 1st, and Luca's in kindergarten.
All right, I just got to map out when we're going to be coming across those teams because I'm looking forward to it.
I swear.
Our schools are our kids go to competing schools.
Yeah.
And oddly enough, I have to potentially referee a meeting around the opposite of what you just said, which is parents and the participation stuff. Oh. And so it's out of control. So refreshing to hear.
Yeah, it's
so refreshing to hear that.
Most people agree, but there are those ones that are like, well, you know, we signed up. I said, well, that's great. You know, so did everybody else. And your kids needs to get better. I'm sorry. You know, I don't want to be that guy, but you know what? They're a year. My oldest is a year away from those kids are going to get caught. They're trying to make a team next year in 4th grade. Yeah. And I know that sounds really weird, and I'm not trying to be that dad, that 9, 10-year-old kid, but you have to prepare them for that, right? Like someone's going to tell them, hey, this is not for you. And then do they work harder to become better at that, or do they give it up and say, I'm going to try something else? And that's that's the reality of life. That's just how you have to teach these kids, man. If you tell them everything's cool, no problem, we'll sign you up somewhere else, well then, hey, we'll just all get a trophy for being here today. That's not what we do.
I know, and where does the parenting come in? Right? Are we just showing them if you can just give up and go somewhere else? That's not how the real world works.
That's not how real world works.
Right?
That's why I hate that transfer portal. It's the worst thing in all of time.
It's terrible.
It's terrible. Right?
You know, and I really have a rough issue when parents force kids to go to do something when they're not. Right? Again, I'm a sports dude. Trust me, I want my kids in a perfect world, my kids are in sports all the time doing something. Yeah. However, there's a chance that they don't like sports.
Sure.
I coach, and I have again. I've coached my oldest, and I'm now back down to coaching because I've got a 15-year-old and I'm down to 7 and a 4. So now I'm back in this and trying to get my patience back again.
Sure.
Of kids that just don't want to be there, and that's normal. And that's okay.
Yeah.
But man, stop forcing them to do it because at a certain age, like kindergarten, 1st grade, you still want them to figure out what they want.
Sure.
When you get to 3rd, 4th grade, the kid clearly doesn't want to be there. No. So then you're making it miserable for them because then you got to tell them like,
you're not good.
You shouldn't be here.
Yeah, you're not good, buddy.
So you can save them from this misery if you just find another avenue for them.
Exactly.
To go, right?
You have to know your kids, right? Like my oldest is a freak, and my last one is maybe better.
Yeah.
My middle one is a tank. He's huge. He's all muscle. He's like 80 pounds. Can't catch a cold. Like, he's not good. And he's just not good. I don't know. Maybe eventually he'll figure it out. He's 6, so I can't say he's not good. But today, right now, I'm not going to go put him in this flag football league. He's just not going to be good at it. And he might quit. He might walk off in the middle of it.
Really hate it.
He has a 20-minute attention span, right? Like, I don't know. So if you can't see that as a parent, then that's your problem. I feel like that's just bad parenting. Or maybe go outside and work with him a little bit. Yeah. Put some time into him. Maybe he'll become better. Like,
right. If they don't show up, if they don't do anything else outside of coming up to this little 1-hour practice that we get to have.
Yeah. This happened to me. I couldn't believe it. So my oldest, Anthony, again, he's a really good athlete now. He's very good at everything. The first time we played flag football, I was so embarrassed. I can't believe it's my kid. Yeah. He couldn't do anything. I gave him the ball once. He ran sideways out of bounds. So I literally, for that first season, I only let him snap. He was so bad. Yeah. He couldn't even play defense. He couldn't pull a flag. Yeah. Every day we were outside playing catch. I was firing balls at him. Yeah. Now this guy's a freak. He scores like 3 or 4 touchdowns a game. Yeah. But he put the work in. I put the work in with him. And if you're not willing to do that as a parent, then your kid's as good as he's going to be. It just is what it is.
No,
right?
It absolutely is.
And it's just in anything. It's not about sports, but anything you do in life. If you're not reading to your kid, you're not helping him with his homework, or like figuring it out by yourself, he's only going to be as good as he can be.
And or people complaining about teachers.
Teachers are the greatest people on earth, man.
That's great. They're not all good.
No.
But at the same time, you can't put all the faith in them, right?
You got to put the work in on the side, man. Just like anything you do, right? You got you're going to only be as good as the effort you put in, right? If you're not working on the side when no one's watching you, then this is your ceiling. I'm sorry to tell it to you, right? Like, I was a huge guy my whole entire life. At no point if I didn't work out in the off season, if I didn't watch my weight, I was the biggest guy in the whole organization. I was 260 pounds playing at 260 pounds. Yeah. But I would come in first place every time we did our timed runs and our all that stuff, because I had to be. I had to show I'm not a fatso. Like, I'm a big dude, and I'm going to kick everyone's ass because I have to show them that I'm in fantastic shape. Yeah. So I was working out every single day my whole entire life, and I'm still this size. Like, it just is what it is, right? Like, I'm just born this way, and I'm not going to be some stick figure. It's just not going to. It's not the way it's going to be. So you have to know how hard you want to work. The harder you work, the luckier you're going to get.
Yeah, love that. Yeah, work meeting opportunity. Well, awesome, man. This has been such a treat. I didn't know what to expect, but man, it's been a ball, and I'm sure we could jam for a lot longer. But I do like to end with, what is a great, I know you'll view it as a great mistake, failure, miscue, mishap, something that you've experienced, whether personally or professionally, that maybe had the most impact on you that others could learn from.
Yeah, I mean, so we had a business, as much as business as we have, like I own a basketball team, the 3-on-3 Detroit Amps team. We have all this real estate, all these different businesses we've been super successful and blessed with, right? A couple years ago, we bought Chicken Guy. It's a new concept. Guy Fieri behind it, right? Gold. It's got to be. Like, the guy's printing, he had just signed a new $100 million contract. We're like, we're going to kill this, right? We went down there. We ate the food. It was delicious. We were the first franchisee, pretty much. We're going to just blow this thing up. Spent a ton of money. We bought the entire state of Michigan. Built the first store in 3 months. They were so excited, like they know how good we were going to be, right? Because we had success in Jimmy John's. And you kind of just kept feeling it, like, man, these guys are not on top of their game. They didn't know what was going on. And everything they've said and done, fresh, never frozen, all this stuff. And then we did an unreal job of PR. We had a 4-hour wait in the drive-through line the first day. We thought we struck gold. For 2 months, we did $536,000 in 2 months.
Wow.
I thought, man, I'm going to Scrooge McDuck into money. And then it went to zero. I couldn't believe it. Huh. And everyone said this, every review is the same. Like, the sauces are good, the people were great. Chicken tastes like it's frozen, and it was. They had transitioned to frozen chicken. And we're like, this is not working. Like, I could taste like Tyson chicken from my freezer, right? Or whatever the case. A bunch of different lies. Overall, whatever the case, we ended up, thankfully, not signing. I didn't sign. I had 4 LOIs on my desk to go start new stores at Michigan State on Hull Road. Like, phenomenal spots, tons of rent. Like, could have been a disaster for us. We got out of it. We got the lease out, sold the equipment, took a loss, no questions asked. But that taught us we worked it, but we were relying on that name of somebody else. Be like, oh, this is what it's going to be. Everyone loves Guy Fieri. Everyone's, it's going to be great. Yeah. There was no management at the top from them. It trickled down. Now they're just, I don't know what's happening. I can't really, say much, but like we learned a ton from that, right? Because everything we had touched had been very good. It's turned in, very well for us, and that kind of humbled us, put us in our place. And now anything we do, we have to do a lot more extensive background and homework on before we say yes to anybody.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting point because, again, most people assume people are going out to do a franchise deal because they have their shit figured out.
Yeah.
And it works. That's why they're trying to get it repeated. However, there are companies that they're made to help people go become franchisors, right? Franchisors.
Yeah.
To help build that, whether they're really ready for it or not, or whether they really have their act together. And most people don't come into it from a position of strength. This
Correct.
is meaning you coming in from like, hey, what can you demand? Most people are like, hey, I want whatever you have. I'll pay you the fee and help me out.
Yeah, I'm opening doors and you're going to make money.
Yeah.
It's not the case.
Versus you guys actually have experience, and I'm wondering if this is an opportunity where, where had you known or sensed what they were actually doing, you could have maybe with a little position more of a strength. Right.
We would have done things a little bit differently. We ended up telling them a lot of things to do. Like, why aren't we doing X, Y, and Z? Why didn't this happen?
Right.
Why?
Because they weren't ready.
And they just weren't ready for it as a team, as a group.
Yeah.
And listen, it happens. We lost a couple bucks, got some nice write-offs on taxes for 2 years, and we just move on, right? Yeah. And everyone moved on, and we're still here. We're kicking it, and we learned we need to be better. We can't just open the doors, same kind of thing. Like, we didn't do that, but that's literally the same, way we thought about it. Like, hey, whatever we open, we're going to open 20, 50 of them. We're going to kill it, and it's not the case. So.
And there's another learning in here too. Like, even though, because I've done the same. I've had a similar mistake on trying to jump into a franchise opportunity, and again, knowing or thinking that I know that how you really make money is having scale.
Yep.
So me jumping into a lot to try to do that. Versus one at a time, right? Had you signed all those LOIs and done all those things, what position would you have been? Oh. So a good learning is, hey, get a toe in, and then you can quickly get out, right? You could more quickly get out.
It's not about how much money you have, it's how you run the business. Like, how many people fail overall, not because of the franchise's fault, because of your fault. Like, they don't know numbers, right? If you don't have your labor and your inventory and your rent, all these certain percentages, and you're just making you can make a ton of sales, but if you're not making money, profit, because your costs are too much, then you're not running the business properly, right? And to cut like a half a point here, and when especially we're as big as we are now at Jimmy John's, a half a point here or a full point here, could be hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Right.
And people, I'll be like, listen, you cut me that, I'll get you a piece. And I'm like, okay, that's a good deal. So like, that's how you got to reward people. You got to take care of your people, make sure they're taken care of with incentive to do better for you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, again, and this was fantastic. What's the best way to give you some PR for all your businesses? What's the best way for people to reach out, buy, and do whatever?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I own all the Jimmy John's pretty much in the area, except for like Livonia, on the way east side and like Grosse Pointe area. Yeah. Pretty much anywhere else, up and down 75, all the way to Brighton, down to Canton, anywhere in there. Born in Detroit .store is our website. Our store is at 1275 Woodward on the hard corner of Woodward and Grand River. It's also sold in Meyer as well. Mm-hmm. Same with our vodka, sold in every Meyer, all Total Wines, all over the place, 8 Mile Vodka. We got the Detroit Amps we play in the summer. It's our 3-on-3 Ice Cube 3-on-3 basketball league we're doing. We have our Game Above Sports Bowl coming up here, our bowl game with our college bowl game. It's coming up here December 26th, day after Christmas.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I'm part of the Game Above.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Part of the Game Above, which is a big conglomerate of all pro athletes from Eastern. So it's like me, TJ Lang, Jason Jones, George Gervin, led by Keith Stone. So it's like a whole group of us, and we're in Game Above, and we're also in Game Above Sports, which is just the ownership of all these different teams that we're going to be buying and getting involved with. So yeah, I don't do a lot of sleep, but we just go, and then. But yeah, those are some of the websites and some of the things we can do, and we love to partner with a lot of different schools and charities and foundations. We do a lot of that stuff, especially with Born in Detroit.
Man, What a nugget. Thanks for everything you're doing here in Detroit.
Thank you for having me. Really appreciate it. This was fun.
Thanks for tuning in to The Roll Call with John Glahn. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe for more insightful conversations. Remember, discovering your true role in life is a journey worth exploring each and every day. Until next time, keep defining your path and living your authentic self. This is John Glahn signing off.